ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. We are reading from the book Sadhana Panchakam, which is a commentary on the Sadhana Panchakam, a set of 5 verses composed by Adi Shankaracharya. The commentary is by Swami Dayananda Saraswati. So the Sadhana Panchakam verses are meant to be instructions for the spiritual seeker, 5 verses. Each verse has 8 instructions, so a total of 40 instructions. Last time we completed verse 1 and we started on verse 2. But before we start again, we will as always chant all the verses. Vedo nityamadhiyatam taduditam karmasvanushthiyatam tene shasya vidhiyatam apachitihi kamye matastyajyatam पापौघः परिधूयतां भवसुखे दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम् आत्मेच्छाव्यवसीयतां निजगृहात् तूर्णं विनिर्गम्यताम् सङ्गस्सत्सु विधीयतां भगवतो भक्तिर्दृढाधीयताम् शान्त्यादिः परिचीयतां दृढतरं कर्माशु सन्त्यज्यतां सद्विद्वानुपसृप्यतां प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुकासेव्यतां ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्थ्यतां श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम् वाक्यार्थश्च विचार्यतां श्रुतिशिरः पक्षः समाक्ष्रीयताम् दुस्तर्कात् सुविरम्यतां श्रुतिमतस्तर्कोऽनुसन्धीयताम् ब्रह्मास्मीति विभाव्यताम् अहरहर गर्वः परित्यज्यताम् देहेऽहं मतिरुज्यतां बुधजनैर्वादः परित्यज्यताम् क्षुद्व्याधिश्च चिकित्स्यतां प्रतिदिनं भिक्षोषघं भुज्यतां स्वाद्वानन्न तु याच्यतां विधिवशात् प्राप्तेन सन्तुष्यताम् शीतोष्णादिविषह्यतां न तु वृथा वाक्यं समुच्चार्यताम् औदासीन्यमभीप्स्यतां जनकृपा नैष्ठुर्यमुत्सृज्यताम् एकान्ते सुखमास्यतां परतरे चेतः समाधीयताम् पूर्णात्मा सुमीक्ष्यतां जगदिदं तद्वादितं दृश्यताम् प्राक्कर्म प्रविलाप्यतां चितिबलान् नाप्युत्तरैश्लिष्यताम् प्रारब्धं त्विह भुज्यताम् अथ परब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम्. So we are starting the discussion of verse 2. We'll chant verse 2 again and the translation and then continue. Sangasassu vidhiyatam bhagavato bhaktirdridhadhiyatam shantyadif परिचीयतां दृढतरं कर्माशु सन्त्यज्यतां सद्विद्वानुपसृप्यतां प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुका सेव्यतां brahmaikaksharamर्थ्यतां shruti shiro vakyan samakarnyatam. The translation is, may you associate with people who are committed to the pursuit of knowledge. May you cultivate a firm devotion to the Lord. May you firmly practice to gain the sixfold virtues of Shama, etc. So we saw this last time too, the six Shatka Sampatti, which is Shama, mastery over the mind, Dhamma, mastery over the external organs such as eyes, ears, etc. Uparama, doing what is to be done by you at a given time, place and situation. Titiksha, enduring both pleasant and unpleasant situations with a cheerful attitude. Shraddha, commitment to the words of Shruti and the Acharya. And Samadhana, focus, concentration. I should add that these Shatka Sampatti are part of the Sadhana Chatushtayam, the qualifications, the necessary qualifications for the spiritual aspirant, which consists of Viveka, Vairagya, Mumukshutvam, and the Shatka Sampatti we just mentioned. Next section, importance of Satsang. So remember, the first instruction was, may you associate with people who are committed to the pursuit of knowledge. The previous verse said, Atmecha vyavasiyatam, may one entertain the desire for self-knowledge. That desire for self-knowledge is called Shubha Ichha, a desire for that which is Shubha. And there's a footnote for Shubha Ichha. Shubhasya mokshasya ichha iti shubhecha. So shubhecha comes from sandhi, shubha and ichha. Shubha means auspicious, and what is auspicious is moksha. So let this be entertained first. Then in order to fulfill this desire, the verse said, Nijagraha turnam vinirgamyatam. There should be a certain vairagya, dispassion towards other pursuits. Then what should you do? Sangha satsu vidhiyatam. May you seek the company of, associate with Satpurushas, people who are committed to the pursuit of knowledge. Sangha satsu means Satpurushaihi saha vasaha. Satpurushaihi saha vasaha. Association, living with and keeping the company of Satpurushas. This is very important because the desire for Atma has to be protected, like one protects a small spark. In the old days, they used to make fire by churning a rod with two wooden blocks, one on top of the other. The friction caused by this churning would create some sparks, and they would collect the sparks in cotton. This was very carefully tended and then made into fire. Similarly, the Atma Ichha, desire for Atma, will have many obstructions. There can be a lot of waylaying. For example, some people go to Rishikesh giving up everything only to end up learning to play the veena. So footnote for veena, a stringed instrument played in Indian classical music. You need not go all the way to Rishikesh for that. So they cannot completely dedicate themselves to veena either. It becomes a problem. This is what they call waylaying. You get yourselves completely waylaid. You do not reach what you want to reach, and instead you go for other things. So you learn some veena, some bhajans and some asanas. Afterwards you start your own society. This is an unfortunate thing, allowing yourself to be totally sidetracked. Instead, you must find people who are really given to the pursuit of this knowledge. One should keep company with such people alone. Saha vasaha kriyatam. Then this desire, however small a spark it may be, can become a big and all-consuming fire. One must have this burning desire for the knowledge, because only a person with that kind of desire can really understand this. There's something very special. Atma Ichha is the main thing. It is the only solution for you. No other solution is available. The Atma Ichha is such a jealous desire that it does not allow for other desires. It has to be an all-consuming desire. In Mundaka Upanishad, a Shirovrata is discussed. A person with his hair as though on fire. If your hair caught fire, what will you do? Will you ask somebody, what shall I do now? No, you will just dive into any water available, however dirty the water. That is the kind of urgency we are talking about. Similarly here, the person has this all-consuming desire for Atma, meaning desire for Atma Jnanam, knowledge of Atma. Atma is already there. So what is needed is Atma Jnanam. To tend this small little flame of desire so it becomes an all-consuming fire, you need to have satsanga with such purushas, those whose dedication is to knowledge. Vidhiyatam means kriyatam. May one do this. There will be many difficulties along the way. These are called antarayas, hindrances. Any one small thing can switch off the desire. You may think, I'll see about this later, or you might conclude, there is nothing there. What is the use of all that? People can easily get sidetracked. There are many obstacles to moksha. This is because what you are interested in is something that is against the ordinary common pursuits of a human being. Since you are going against the current, the natural swabhava, disposition of a human being, naturally there can be any number of obstructions. These obstructions can be emotional or they can be external. Next section. Devotion helps to eliminate obstacles. To get rid of these obstructions, Bhagavataha Dhrida Bhaktiha Adhiyatam. So Bhaktiha Adhiyatam. Bhagavataha Dhrida Bhaktiha Adhiyatam. May you cultivate Dhrida Bhakti, firm devotion for Bhagavan. Who is Bhagavan? Bhaga Asya Asti Iti Bhagavan. The one who has Bhaga is called Bhagavan. Bhaga means Shad Aishwarya, the sixfold absolute virtues. They are Aishwaryam, overlordship, Jnanam, all knowledge, Vairagyam, total dispassion born of fullness, Viryam, power, Yashas, fame, and Shri, all forms of wealth. Bhagavataha Bhaktihi means devotion for which the object is Bhagavan. It is not Bhagavan's Bhakti. So the footnote for that. It says Karmani Shashti, not Sambandha Shashti. Karmani Shashti, not Sambandha Shashti. Bhakti is an internal attitude. When you do physical puja, that is also bhakti. But Dhrida Bhakti is in the form of a conviction that with the grace of Bhagavan, it is possible for me to eliminate all my obstacles. Another word for bhakti is Vishwasa. Upasana, various forms, practices of meditation and worship are also bhakti. Not only do you perform puja externally, internally you also do dhyanam, meditation, also a form of bhakti. This is a footnote for dhyanam. Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyaparad Dhyanam. Saguna Brahma Vishaya Manasa Vyaparaha Dhyanam. Dhrida Vishwasa, strong faith in Ishvara, likewise is bhakti. This means that tomorrow will not be a problem. Things will happen for you as they are meant to. There is nothing for you to worry about, to worry for the future. You live for today, having strong faith in Ishvara, in the order of things. That is the surrender. Bhagavad Bhakti is an important thing in this pursuit. It is both a religious pursuit and a spiritual pursuit because Bhagavan, the Lord, is involved here. All that we are seeking is Bhagavan. In fact, Bhagavad Bhakti is part of the seeker's virtue and is for gaining as much of the Lord's grace as one can in order to eliminate all the obstacles. The Dhrida Bhakti itself gives you a psychological advantage. With devotion and faith, naturally you can relax because you let Bhagavan take over. It is his job. Once you are given the job to an efficient being like Bhagavan, you need not bother about it. You cannot have a better, more efficient person than Bhagavan. So hand over the baby to Bhagavan. Let him babysit. Why do you bother? Make Bhagavan your babysitter. This is the idea. What is the baby? It is a problem baby. Quote, problem baby, unquote, means your problem is the baby. Hand over all your problems to Bhagavan. You cannot have a better babysitter. Bhagavan has so many tricks. Whatever the baby wants, he can bring. He can keep the baby in good humor, so there is no problem for you. Next section, breaking thinking habits. Shantyadi parichiyatam. Shantyadihi parichiyatam. Shanti means shama, mastery over the ways of the mind. The word adi means and so on, referring to the Shatka Sampati, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha and Samadhana. These are the sixfold qualifications for the seeker of self-knowledge, and this refers to the previous footnote. Parichiyata means may you correct a lot, or in other words, abhyasyatam, may one practice. Let Shama and the other virtues be corrected by you, practiced by you. How can you practice inner tranquility? Understand the ways of your mind. Shama covers all your psychological and emotional well-being. Dhamma is external discipline. Shama means understanding the ways of your mind. These can be gained through effort alone, involving a lot of pain, sacrifice and understanding. The whole process is a painful one. You have to deny yourself of certain things. You have to go through the pain because the more you look into yourself, the more painful it becomes to yourself and to others. Others also should be understanding, but you should be understanding to yourself. Only then can you go through that small spell which one has to go through. Therefore, Shantyadif parichiyatam, Shantyadihi parichiyatam. May these qualities be cultivated in your daily living. You have to break old habits by living, understanding, maintaining a certain attitude and so on. It is especially important to break thinking habits. These are very difficult to handle. Being die-hard, they do not go away easily. May these thinking habits be reconstituted so that you do not get into the same groove of wrong thinking. When wrong thinking is there, pain will be there immediately. There are certain ways of thinking that cause pain, and you must understand these well. You must do whatever is necessary to have psychological well-being. Next section, the purpose of sannyasa. Dhridataram karmashu santyajyatam. Dhridataram karmashu santyajyatam. Here he is prescribing sannyasa. The footnote for sannyasa, renunciation, the final stage of life in the Vedic tradition. This renunciation of karma is meant for the sannyasi, of course, and therefore we have to understand this properly. Dhridataram means very firmly. Karma here means vihita karma, all the karmas enjoined by the Shastra. Kamya karma, karma to fulfill a desire was mentioned before. The person is already set to give up kamya karma. But now it says one should give up vihita karma also. You cannot give that up unless you take sannyasa. So here the verse says, may one quickly give up karma in accordance with the Shastra. The footnote here is, karma ashu vidhivat tyajyatam. Karma ashu vidhivat tyajyatam. The time has come for you to give up even nitya naimitika karmas, the daily duties, etc., which you have been doing regularly and properly. This is because your commitment is for only one thing, knowledge. How do you give up these duties? By sannyasa, which means letting your sole pursuit be for knowledge. Sannyasa is not simply cutting off all your hair and wearing ochre robes. There is something special about sannyasa. The special thing is that once you take sannyasa, you are not good for anything else. The only thing you are good for is Atma Jnanam. A sannyasi is meant only for Jnanam, knowledge. You are not qualified for anything else. You are not qualified for marriage. You are not qualified for a job. You disqualify yourself from everything else by taking to a life of sannyasa. Thereby there is a clinching that takes place inside. You have committed yourself. There is nothing else you can do. Thus you pursue Jnanam to the exclusion of everything else. This total dedication does something good. Simply taking to sannyasa is not enough to gain Jnanam, but it does help a mumukshu, one who wants to gain this knowledge and discover freedom. Therefore, it is important to understand the spirit of this, the dedicated pursuit of knowledge. The author also gives you a certain time for that, namely, ashu, quickly, do not postpone. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.